going to show you some basic pen techniques. So these are a few examples. So some tonal shading just using pen there, so using just a hatching technique and then a cross hatching technique to create different tones. Just simple blending from light to dark on the letters of this piece, which is a contrast to the brightly coloured background, and then using a different kind of mark making technique on this one. So there's a range of different marks that you might choose to use. There are many more than this, of course, as well. So you've got random cross hatching and then going over multiple times, crosses, small hatching, just lines. So there's lots of different things that you can use. Then I'm just going to show you basic hatching and then cross hatching today, but feel free to experiment with these techniques before using them on your work as well. So before you get started on this, you might want to choose and practice some of the techniques. So you can use something like this with just a few boxes to try out those techniques first of all. With pen, you can change the pressure of the pen, but the same as with colouring pencil and pencil, you can build up layers to create darker tones. Now I'm going to be just doing lines because I find this the easiest technique, but you can also do cross hatching, so that is where you have lines and then you work over it to create a cross hatch effect. You can also develop that further by going diagonally. Okay, so you can do individual lines or cross-hatched lines as well. So I'm going to start with the darkest tone because that's easier, and I'm using just a normal biro pen, so it's got dry ink inside. So I'm just using lines with the pen. I'm starting out quite softly. I'm not pressing really hard, because what I'm going to do is just build up the tone. So exactly the same as I've just done. Go over that bit. Now I'm not doing zigzags like this because the corner then sticks out. I am actually just doing individual lines, and that is better because you'll get a soft edge, which is what you want because that will help you blend into another tone if you need to. So going over the same section. Okay, so I've got my darkest tone, and I'm just gonna work through using exactly the technique to get to the lighter tones. When you get to the lightest shade, you are pressing very softly with your pen, so you are not putting the same pressure on your pen as when you are writing. When you write, you put quite a lot of pressure with your whole hand, but you're sketching like you would a pencil, but really lightly with the pen. So just barely touching the surface of the paper, building up those lines just as you have to create that lightest tone. Okay, and that is my tonal scale in pen using the hatching technique. Now with blending, it's very similar to what we've just done here, but you start building up the lighter lines, you layer on top to make it darker, and then keep working your way down. Now the good thing with pen is you can always work back on top of it. So if you start with a light layer first of all, and then you build on top of it. So I'm not putting any more pressure on, I'm just going over it with more lines, so I'm building up the layers. Okay, and then I've got the blending as well. So I'm going to show you how that applies to one of these logos. So it's your choice whether you want to have harsh edges or not. I am going to lightly go over the pencil edges and then rub out the pencil first of all. So with this, I'm going to try and leave the letters white and then add cross-hatching in this section and a different kind in this section. So I'm going to start with the light lines. Just like with pencil, it is best to try and go all in one direction. What you might then choose to do is do an alternative mark making or technique on a different section. We might continue to do the same technique. I am tempted to do hashing technique on this where like it's V shapes. So I just start doing the lines. And again, if you want it to be lighter, simply press lighter with the pen, or go over it more if you want it to be darker. And that is how you do basic pen techniques.